I want to give you what it looks like for pitchers at the big league level, at the minor league level, and how they structure their workloads, or how a lot of them structure their workloads. I've had pitcher after pitcher after pitcher come to me, and we do a lot of things with their shoulder mobility, with their shoulder strength, but we also focus on their training structure, their throwing structure. So if you're not a pitcher, that's okay. You still should use this model if your training seems to be haphazard or there's not a lot of rhyme or reason to what you're doing. Structure this into a day 1, day 2, and day 3 before you repeat it. And if you're on the podcast, you're listening to this, I have a chart here. The top columns are arm care, lift, and throwing. And then the very far left column are day 1, day 2, day 3. So for example, pro pitchers, they'll come in on day 1. They'll get warmed up. They throw their bullpen, either a bullpen or a live BP. It doesn't matter, a high intent throwing day. Then they come in and they have their heavy lift. They'll do their sprints and their jumps. And that's when we help them with their heavy shoulder strength work, their correctives, quote unquote correctives. You move on to day 2. They play light catch, 60 to 90 feet max. They let their arm recover, but they still continue to move it. Then they go to their aerobic work. So that could be a ruck walk, that could be biking, a combination of that. They don't go crazy in the weight room. Then they come into us, athletic training room, soft tissue, recovery work, dry needles, cups, things to just help their blood flow, get moving, feeling recovered. Day 3, let's call it a medium intent day. They do some mound work or they hit some of their plyos. They go to 90 feet, maybe 120 feet. Then they come in, they hit what's called a micro lift or a 50% lift, either 50% volume or 50% intensity, but they're going to hit some sort of lift. Then they're going to come back into the athletic training room and they'll hit their total body correctives similar to day 1. And then guess what? They hit the reset button and they start on day 1 again. Notice any athlete in any sport can follow this up and down predictable model. You don't redline every day. You don't throw off the mound every day. You don't long toss every day. You don't lift heavy every single day. I see a lot of high school athletes, the mistake they make is they'll have a pitching lesson on Monday, heavy lift on Tuesday, a hitting lesson on Wednesday. Thursday, they have another heavy lift and another mound day. Friday, they're doing the same thing that they did the day before, and they have no time to rest or recover. You have to take a predictable, measured, intentional process and structure into your training to be able to peak at the right times. So we talked about big picture. What does it look like when you're in season versus off season versus transition period? This is how we would structure our training for our pro pitchers when they were in season. So it might look a little different when you're out of season, but generally speaking, you're going to want to take this predictable roller coaster approach. And there have to be peaks, there have to be valleys, but you can't just go out there redline every day or not hit any high intensity work whatsoever. If you take nothing else away from this presentation, take this structure, this training structure away, steal it from us, use it. You're going to start reaping the rewards. When it comes to workloads, it's not sexy. This conversation is not fun. It's not an Instagram guru showing you a new exercise for your hip and why your hip mobility is going to unlock 5 miles per hour, but it's the stuff that works. We want to stop this fatigue and this overuse epidemic that we're seeing with these overuse injuries before they start. I hope that was helpful. Again, we're at the home stretch now. We're going to talk about diet and hydration. And even though they're structured in a way that seems like one is more important than the other, it's really hard to choose what's most important. Managing workloads versus diet and nutrition versus sleep. And so that's why they all live at the base of that pyramid, at the base of that performance pyramid. But we're going to move on. The last section here, diet and nutrition. Just because it's last doesn't mean that it is any less important than any of this other stuff. And again, this is the last time I'll ask, if you know somebody who would appreciate this information, who could use all the resources, please send them the link. I'm not selling you anything. I'm not asking you to buy anything. All we ask is that you please share this course with somebody you think would really benefit from it. Now, let's get to diet and nutrition and hydration.